Word of mouth is dead. I see a lot of contractors relying on this to book jobs. But here's what's crazy. It doesn't have to be this way. In just 4 months, we built a construction company to $600,000 in revenue without a single word of mouth referral. We were booked 3 months in advance, charging 25% margins in the market that people actually only think they can charge 10%. This is the reality for contractors trapped in the word of mouth cycle. Like, have you ever found yourself lying awake at 2 a.m. staring at the ceiling, thinking about where the next project is going to come from? So in our business, our lead flow is so consistent, we actually turned out projects that we don't want to work on. So in this video, I'm going to show you first the shocking truth about word of mouth referrals and what's keeping 82% of contractors trapped in the feast and famine cycle. And second, I'll show you our proven 5-step authority lead generation system that has generated 835 leads, qualified leads, in just 4 months. And third, I'll show you how to implement this in your business in the next 30 days. So let's talk about word of mouth referrals and why this is actually killing your business, probably stressing you out and probably stressing out family as well too. It's because of this misconception. But word of mouth is free marketing. People trust referrals. And you're right, referrals are actually great. But here's the problem. The problem is what I call the good enough trap. And this trap is actually dangerous because it makes you feel safe when it's slowly killing your business. So here's how it works. You get a few referrals, they turn into decent projects, the work is good, client is happy, and they refer you to others. And then the cycle continues. Sounds perfect, right? But this is where the trap springs out. Because those referrals are good enough, you never build real systems for getting clients. You tell yourself, okay, yeah, why spend money on marketing when these referrals are free? But here's the truth. Those referrals are anything but free. Let me explain with some real numbers. So just last month, I talked to a couple of contractors. All 3 had great reputations, solid craftsmanship, happy clients, but then they were caught in the same trap. So this is the vicious cycle. During slow months, they couldn't invest in marketing because the cash flow was tight. So they stayed dependent on referrals. So when work finally came in, they were busy trying to catch up on bills, so they couldn't invest. But then they couldn't invest in systems to prevent the next slow period. And then the cycle continued until they couldn't sustain it anymore. So there are 3 deadly myths about the word of mouth marketing that keeps contractors trapped in this cycle. So number 1 is the referrals are free. The reality, you're paying for them with your freedom, your family time, and then the constant stress of uncertainty. Myth number 2, good work speaks for itself. Yes, quality matters, but I've seen incredible craftsmen go broke waiting for their work to speak. I don't know about you, but I've never seen an actual project site say stuff for me. And then number 3 is you need years to build a reputation. Again, I understand that's good, but this is the biggest lie in construction. We built our company to $600,000 in revenue in 4 months without a single referral. But here's what makes this trap so powerful, right? It feels responsible, conservative, it's safe. Just do good work and then the referrals will come. Except they don't come all the time. And even if they come, they might be not for the jobs that you want to do. Not for the high margin jobs that actually pay the bills. So think about this. Would you run your job site hoping materials will show up when you need them? No, of course not. You probably won't, because you have systems for that. So why are you running your entire business on hoping just clients will just show up when you need them? So how do we solve this? We use the system to generate 835 qualified leads in just 4 months while charging 25% margins. In the city where people think, oh, you know what, I can only charge 10% margins. So let me show you how we broke free from the word of mouth trap. We probably were never in that trap initially, because we actually did that from the ground up to make sure that we don't need referrals to make the business work. So what we do is we call it the authority lead generation system, and it has 5 key components that work together to create a consistent flow of high quality leads. But before I break down each component, let me show you what this looks like in action. So if you pull up your phone, right, and then go on Instagram and then search for Dream Home Rentals YYC on Instagram, you'll see our company with over 60,000 followers. This is more than any other remodeling or construction company in Calgary. But forget about the follower count for a second. What's really powerful, what this helps us do is when leads come in, people see our Instagram and then they actually know that we are an authority in the city. What's also powerful is when leads come in at 11 p.m, we have our system that is booking qualified appointments automatically. In fact, one of our best clients signed with a $75,000 project. He actually came in through a lead that was qualified around 11:30 before we actually spoke to him. If we had waited till the next day to speak to him, we probably would have lost him. So he was pre-qualified at 11:35 p.m. with our AI appointment setter and booked in straight for an estimate. While I was sound asleep, I probably wasn't awake at that time. Let's go back. So here are the 5 components that make this possible. First is the content strategy. Because we're not talking about posting random content here, photos, right? It's actual before and after. We created educational based authority content. So for example, you see this video here, we made a simple video titled, "How much does it cost to build a basement?" That single video generated 1.5 million views. Think about that. 1.5 million people wanted to know the answer to that question. Secondly, we have our AI qualification system. So when leads come in, even at 11:30 p.m., they are instantly engaged in a conversation that feels completely natural. The system asks them about their budget, their timeline, and then if they are qualified, they book directly into our estimator's calendar. If not, we just nurture them until they are ready. And the third is our targeted campaign framework. So remember how I mentioned we get leads for $12 while others are paying $30 to $40? That's because we're not running all those typical contractor ads that say, "Oh, you need a renovation? Call now." Instead, we are running educational videos that pre-qualifies the prospects even before they reach out. Remember that video I was telling you about that got 1.5 million views? Obviously, not all 1.5 million people are in our city. So what we do is we take that video and run it as an ad. And then that gets crazy engagement because it has like, I don't know, over 1,000 comments. Then people get the feeling that we are experts in our city. And then fourth, we have the CRM follow-up system. Every lead is tracked, nurtured, and contacted automatically. No leads actually falls through the cracks. We don't want to miss any opportunity. And then the last is our authority positioning strategy that ties it all together. So when clients find us, they're not comparing us to 5 other contractors. They've watched our content, learned about our expertise, and then they come to us pre-sold on our value. And then what was the result from all of this? In just 4 months, we generated 835 leads, booked $600,000 in projects, all at 25% plus margins consistently. But actually, here's really what's powerful. What this means is you have a consistent flow of projects or a consistent flow of leads coming into the business. You're not lying awake thinking, where is the next project going to come from? You're sleeping soundly because you know the next month's projects are already lined up. You can take vacations because you can actually plan for that. And then you're on vacation, you're checking your phone to see if leads are coming in. You have your system or you have your employees back at home making that work. And then you're building a business, a real one, instead of living from project to project. And then the best part about it is you have the freedom to choose which projects you want to take on. Because at this point, sometimes you actually turn away projects because we can see some of the projects that we don't want to work on because we know the clients are going to be a pain in the ass. And you know how that works, right? In the end, we are able to choose who our clients are. And that's what it's about. Now you might be thinking, this sounds great, but how do I actually implement this in your business? So let me break it down. So we have a 3-week implementation system, and this is how you can actually implement that in your business as well too. So what we do, first thing is we have the authority foundation set up. So this is where you position yourself as the expert in your market and not a jack of all trades, but you're like the go-to specialist in your city for that specific kind of project. For example, in our case, we focus solely on basement development, and then we built a niche around it, and then we built our authority around it as well. So remember that video again that I told you that got 1.5 million views? In this week, the first week, you will generate your first high impact content that will answer your market's most pressing questions, the biggest questions that they have. So again, it's not really complex. You know what they actually ask you over and over again. You generate content that answers them. It's all about sharing the knowledge that you already have, that you already know. But then when you share it, it positions you as the authority. So week 2 is the content system activation. This is where you put your authority content to work. When you take those videos and then post them on social media. But here's the key. You kind of don't need to create this content yourself. With AI, you can actually create the content automatically, handle the engagement, and then build your following as well. Then week 3 is actually what I would say you launch your lead generation. So you take the authority content that has actually popped. You will see when you post maybe 10 videos, you will see that probably 2 or 3 of them are actually popping. They're actually doing really well on social media. Then you take those videos and you repurpose them as ads. And then you have targeted campaigns that are bringing in leads at a really cheap price because this is proven content It's not the generic ads that you see that it's like they're basically billboards that say, oh, do you want a basement renovation? Call this number. Because what you get out of the really good ads are pre-qualified prospects that already know your value, that already see you as the authority. So let me be clear about this. This wouldn't happen overnight, but if you put it to action in 30 to 90 days, you can get a completely transformed business with predictable leads coming in. But you need to understand that this only works if you're ready to break free from the feast or famine cycle. If you're comfortable relying on word of mouth, again, this isn't for you. This is for contractors that want to build a real business that serves their life, not the other way around. Here's the thing, I've just shown you how we create and generate leads. It's really nice, really powerful, but it's just one piece of the puzzle. Think about it. Again, having leads coming in is great, but you would need something that will be able to handle those leads when they come in. Not you having to follow up with every lead that comes in. And then you also need a proven way to close those deals at premium rates. So that's why we created the complete contractor growth framework. So basically what I just walked you through is the foundation, but then you also need the authority protocol. This is actually how we became the most followed contractor in Calgary with 60,000 followers. It's not for vanity, these are just vanity metrics, the followers, but then that authority helps us choose or helps us charge 25% plus margins. Then we've also got in that framework the unlimited leads. This is how we generated qualified leads at $12 each. And then we also have the AI appointment setting system where you're not able to miss a lead that comes in because it automatically follows up with each lead. So I've put together a detailed video walking you through this entire framework. It shows how all these pieces work together to transform your business. So I'm going to link to the video up here, or click the link in the description to watch the contractor framework video. You'll see how all these 4 or 5 systems work together to build your business. Again, the video is free. It's about 30 minutes long, but if you spend that time, you understand exactly what it takes to take your business from struggling generalist to a sought after specialist. So click the link to watch the video below, and I'll see you there.